Good morning. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're continuing our study of 2nd John as a part of our larger study, the neglected books of the New Testament. And we're going to take some time to go through 2nd and 3rd John, which we almost never do in adult Bible class. Following our study of 2nd and 3rd John, we're going to do a study of Jude, take even a little more time to go through the book of Jude. Such an important book and problematic in so many ways, but a book we need to listen to, of course. And then I think after that, and we conclude our study of the forgotten or neglected, I should say, books of the New Testament, we're going to look at the minor prophets. Now, I love the minor prophets. There's not better writing anywhere in human history than the writing of the minor prophets. I mean, it's just thrilling just to read those books, and I think we're going to take a little time and look at the minor prophets and go to the Old Testament. We've been in the New for a while. Yesterday, we introduced both 2nd and 3rd John together as a group. We talked about the authorship of John the Apostle. We talked about when they were written in the late 90s and their connection to the book of Philemon, the letter to Philemon that we just talked about. We also mentioned that they have the same topic, which is hospitality. And we mentioned that 2nd John is about hospitality being extended when it ought not be, and that 2nd John is to a female, and that 2nd John is about telling that female not to participate, not to enable, not to be a partner of false teaching. That the problem that's addressed in 2nd John is itself false teaching. Whereas 3rd John is written to a guy, Gaius, and the problem is quite masculine. It's about male egos, which I said yesterday does equally as much damage as false teaching and persecution together, probably. But anyway, 2nd John we want to introduce today. I just want to read, and we're going to talk about verses 1 through 3 tomorrow. It'll be our topic the next time we're together. But I just want to read the introduction of the book, the first verse, and talk about who this chosen lady is, the elect lady, as it says in the King James. The elder to the chosen lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not only I, but also all who know the truth. Okay, let me go ahead and read verse 2. For the sake of the truth which abides in us and will be with us forever. The elder. Now, some get caught up on that, and they think this guy's an elder of the church, not an apostle, and he's identifying himself by role. And I don't think so at all, although John may very well have served as an elder. As I said yesterday, just every bit of evidence, and we're going to see this as we study, the vocabulary, the style, the themes, everything tells us that the Gospel of John, 1st John, 2nd John, and 3rd John were all four written by the same person, which I believe to be, although it's not fashionable to believe so anymore, to be the Apostle John. I don't think there's any other plausible candidate as the author of any of these four books. So to me, when I read presbyteros, which is often translated elder, that word just means old man. And he's describing himself as an old man, which is exactly the way Paul described himself to Philemon. He said, I'm an old guy, and therefore you should not put me through all this. I'm old. And I think John is establishing his status as an older person, as a grandfather to the congregation or to this woman that he's writing to. So that's why I think what elder really communicates. And if I were translating my MOV, my own version, I would translate that the old man. The old man to the chosen lady and her children. Now, this might be an individual person, but he doesn't name that person, although he does name Gaius as the recipient of 3rd John. So that's a bit of evidence. Also, he's writing not only to this person, but to the children, to a plurality in verses 12 and 13. That makes me suspect, not know now, but suspect that the chosen lady is his way of saying the congregation. When congregations or the church in general is referred to, by gender at all. We're the bride of Christ. It's female, it's feminine. Almost, we talk about having sister congregations. It's almost the way a ship is always female. There's a feminine gender attached to the church. I'm not saying this happens a lot, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's talking to the entire church, a local congregation, and the entire congregation, not just an individual person. Some people see the church at large, and of course, everything he writes here applies to the church at large, but I don't see that at all. It's too specific what he's talking about, and he's not promising to visit every congregation. He's promising to visit this congregation or this woman in the congregation. And several women are mentioned in the New Testament who are hosts of churches, and this very well may be written in a sense to the lady who is the host of the house church and the house church too. And so it may be both. It may be to the woman and to the church altogether, the way Philemon was to Philemon, as well as the preacher and his wife and everybody there at church. Okay, the problem, and I know I'm taking a lot of time today, I'm sorry, the problem that they're facing is that people are teaching falsehoods. They have wandered away. The word is planeo, which is the word from which we get our word planet, wanderer. And it's almost like he's saying, these folks, they used to be in orbit, but now they're out of orbit. And they're teaching a falsehood. We've talked about this before in our 5 Good Minutes, about the Greek philosophical challenge to truth, which came to the fore after the Judaizers lost their influence and Jerusalem was destroyed and the church became largely a Gentile institution. There's this Platonic dualism, the separation of body and spirit, and it led to what was known as what is known today as Doceticism, from the word to seem, dokeo, to seem. And these people taught that Jesus did not come in the flesh. He could not have, because the flesh is evil. He only appeared to be in the flesh. He was like a hologram. And then some people felt like there was, like he was an android, like there was somebody who looked like him, but he wasn't really in that thing, in that body. He wasn't embodied in a human body. And there is so much at stake if we believe that. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I want to continue this. I don't want to try to end this in the next 30 seconds. So we're going to add a session tomorrow to finish our introduction of 2 John. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.